Alright, so this player just won first place in the solo ranked cup after dropping a 25 kill game. However, there's a twist. He only used his shotgun 5 times during the entire match. Now you may ask, how does that make any sense? Well, instead, he used this. Now to give you more context, this guy played 25 ranked matches and lost every single one except for the final match, where he decided to change his entire strategy. His name is Roulette. He lands at Pleasant Park, and after looting the underground vault, he quickly eliminates the nearby opponents. From here, he uses his grappler to rotate all the way into Frenzy Farm, where he manages to eliminate this player, who drops him both an epic pump shotgun and more importantly the epic submachine gun, which he completely abuses since 4 out of his next 5 eliminations are used by the SMG. Now you can see here that after eliminating one of the opponents, he actually has a chance to pick up the mythic drum gun, which causes more damage than the SMG. However, the epic SMG has a faster fire rate and quicker reload time compared to the drum gun. So for players who like to play more aggressively, it might be a better choice. Now from here, he uses his grappler once again to rotate to the east side of the map, and again uses his SMG to eliminate the opponent, who drops him the most balanced weapon ever, the godly mythic minigun. However, this player is so ruthless that he keeps both the minigun and the SMG. This guy is the definition of the spray meta. Now from here, he doesn't even use his shotgun anymore. All of his next 14 eliminations are caused by the minigun, which basically shreds through players' builds, giving them no chance to fight back. However, I'm not saying that this player is bad by any means. There are some scenarios where he shows some great game knowledge. After all, this is a solo rank cup, and these players that he's facing are not bad players. So knowing how to just spray a weapon doesn't cut it. For example, here he gets beamed by the opponent and immediately builds a box to heal up and protect himself. After editing his cone to see where the opponent is located, he switches to his minigun and completely shreds the opponent mid-air. Now all of this was possible because he edited his cone, which exposed the opponent's location. You see, what makes the mythic weapons overpowered is not only their crazy stats, but also the fact that if you put them in a good player's hands, it creates an extremely powerful combination. From here, he pushes any player who enters his sight, and again shreds them with a minigun. Now another thing I'd like to mention that this player does very well is the fact that he gets extremely close to his opponents when using the minigun. Since the minigun has an insane structure damage, 396 to be exact, means that getting closer to players' builds will destroy them faster, which is exactly what he does. He obviously wins the game with a total of 25 eliminations and finishes first place in the tournament. However, the reason I'm making this video in the first place is because this match represents a bigger issue. You see, over the past year, for every new season, Fortnite has managed to add some sort of overpowered weapon into the game, and this has turned into a tradition at this point. Now don't get me wrong, these weapons are extremely fun to use, and they definitely add excitement to the game. But the issue starts when Epic adds these weapons into competitive matches as well, where people make a living through earnings. So for professional players, this is quite an issue that can cause them to lose a lot of money. Some reports are saying that teams that chose to land at Spaghetti Grotto, which is where you land to receive the minigun, win on average 4 out of 6 tournament matches, which is extremely high, and further points out that there is a big issue with these overpowered items. And to further prove my point, we can see that teams that carried either the mythic drum gun or the mythic minigun have finished in first place most of the time. This is actually how Peterbot, Canada, and Acorn placed in the top 3 of almost every trio cash cup that they played. Every match they landed at the grotto, where Canada was the one to carry the minigun, as well as 3 chug cannons, turning him into an absolute machine of a player. And what he does throughout the entire game is basically help Peterbot and Acorn to apply pressure in order to eliminate their opponents faster. Throughout the entire endgame, he again applies pressure from the high ground onto the entire lobby. This is a strategy they use to win most of their games. So in conclusion, mythic weapons are extremely overpowered when they are held by the right players, and in my opinion, they should be out of competitive matches. However, in public matches, they definitely add more entertainment to the average player.